From Tiger Stadium in Moon Township, Pennsylvania, tonight, the Tigers host the Penn Hills Indians on their first ever trip to Moon Area High School. A very pleasant good evening to you, along with my broadcast partner, Greg Smith. I'm Bill Navari. Another beautiful night for football here in Western Pennsylvania. And, Greg, it seems like two teams tonight going in different directions.
I think that's exactly what it is, Bill. You've got a Penn Hills team, we were just talking before we came on air, a Penn Hills team that's really about one play away from being 3-0. And on the flip side of the coin, a Moon team that, after last year's WPIAL runner-up, have been struggling to both offensively and defensively, falling to an early 0-3 start.
The Tigers have lost to West Allegheny 41-0, Montour 14-2, and last week 40-9 into hands of the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils. The Indians lost in week 1 to Seneca Valley. The Indians missed a last play field goal and lost 17-15. And then they came back to beat Norwin 26-7, and last week held on to beat the Pine Richland Rams for the first time in 14 years. The Indians 2-1 overall, 1-0 in conference play. So let's see tonight if they can keep that momentum going. Captains on their way out to the middle of the field. The Indians dressed in all white, red helmets. The Moon Tigers, white helmets, red jerseys, and white pants.
Yeah, you mentioned the first 3 games for each of these teams, Bill. It's been a tough schedule, right? Both these teams have faced some quality opponents. Both these teams seemingly battle-tested already as we approach conference play. Penn Hills, as you mentioned, already 1-0 in their conference. So should be a good one tonight, and a good further litmus test here as we really ramp up the season into October. A good test for both these programs to kind of see where they're at before conference play truly begins.
Indians win the toss and have deferred. Tigers will receiving down to our right. We're moving right to left. Now, Tigers, I mean, they had to watch the game last week, and they saw the Indians, Amir Key. Big game last week. The Indians' running attack has been on fire. Head coach Chuck Morris has kind of gone more to the running game. A lot of teams are going pass nowadays, but he's trying to instill the running game. We even see the power eye occasionally for the Indians. But if you're the Moon Tiger defense, what are you looking to do?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, 44 rushing attempts last week for Penn Hills, just 7 passing attempts. So it certainly appears that way. Now it'll be interesting to see this Moon defense last year, a stout bunch, a bunch that held this Penn Hills team to just 9 points last season in their WPIAL semifinal game. But certainly we'll talk about it more tonight. A very different Moon team tonight. Lost a lot of seniors from that squad last year. So we'll have to see if Penn Hills relies on that run game as they did last week, or if they change it up given the opponent and the knowledge from last season.
Indians a young team, but a lot of these kids back from last year. Lost a handful of seniors, but the core of this team is still the team that made it to the WPIAL semifinals last season. But it still seems the Indians are trying to find their way a little bit, I guess because of the new coaching staff when John Ledon left to go up to Pine Richland. But again, the Indians scoring 26 and 33 points in their last 2 wins. So Owen Williams will kick off for the Penn Hills Indians. And we are underway. Kick taken at the 8-yard line. Brandon Weaver looks for somewhere to go up the middle. Has a little bit of a hole. And scurries his way out to the 32-yard line. Nice start for the Tigers. Decent field position again they'll mark him at the 31.
Yeah, nice head of steam there for Weaver. Gets himself really nice starting field position for Moon. And we'll see how this has to play out as the offense brings itself onto the field.
Braden Stewart, the freshman quarterback. And a very young team for these Moon Tigers. Stewart from the shotgun, bobbles the snap under pressure from behind, gets his pass away, and the pass caught behind the defense down to the 35-yard line. That's Anthony Antoniadis. I'll mark him at the 34. 45 yards on the first play of the game for the Tigers.
clearly the right design play.
Jameer Brown.
Call timeout! You broke the huddle! Call timeout!
On the defensive play for the Indians.
Call timeout! You broke the huddle! Too many. They're gonna call it.
Tigers use a timeout. Got 12 guys on the field.
Yeah, with some helpful play-by-play and over our shoulder here.
Well, they put us right in with the coaches.
Bringing you some action, real, some live action.
I don't think they have headsets. They're yelling down to the field. The clock will stop with 11:18 to go here in quarter number 1. And a nice touch on the ball by Braden Stewart, 6 foot, 175. Again, he's a freshman. Bobbled the snap, kept his poise, had pressure from behind. On the blind side, Keith Pellman was coming, but he got the pass away. And Anthony Antoniades was able to catch up to it, haul it in, and got down to the 34-yard line before Jameer Brown brought him down. Nazir Brookins will lose 3.
Yeah, that's one of those, young guys in the backfield, as you mentioned, the freshman Stewart, quarterback. Brookins just a sophomore, and that play never had a chance. That fumble right off the snap, but Brookins does a nice job jumping on it and limiting their loss to just 3.
The second down at the 37-yard line.
Hey, 12 is hot. 12 is hot.
Tigers go Wildcat, Brandon Weaver. That's held for no gain. And it'll be 3rd and 13.
That Wildcat trying to single up a defender there, but Penn Hills, not fooled by that rush at all. Yeah, Weaver nowhere to go in a 3rd and long now. Tough sledding here for the Tigers here.
Penn Hills have an experienced defensive line. They're young. Carter Lance, Kelsey Hunley, James Good, Keith Pellman on the end of the left. Tigers will throw. That'll be Weaver again. Gets by the first man, but not the wave behind. Pass is complete, but for no gain. And it'll be a 4th down. It'll be 4th and 13 from the 37-yard line, and the Tigers come on to punt.
Yeah, early in the game, trying to play field position, knowing the explosiveness of this Penn Hills offense. And that play just took a little too much time to develop on that bubble screen. Weaver never really had a chance. 2 defenders on him before he get the chance. And a nice job by Penn Hills responding after that big chunk play on 1st down.
High, slow snap. Tigers get the kick away, and it's a high kick. Victor Rayon Strader from the 6-yard line. Tigers were expecting him to call for the fair catch. He did not. And he gets out too. Push him out of bounds. Mark him at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Strader there. You're right. It almost seems as if he fooled them. Not really sure what Moon was waiting for, but Strader does a great job taking that up the field, and Moon's lucky he got forced out of bounds when he did.
I don't know if they were waiting for him to fair catch, or they expect him just to let it bounce.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but heads up from Strader making a good play.
The Miami of Ohio commit.
Always love me some action.
Backs to each side of Duggar. Key will come in motion this way. Do the swing pass. Key in the flat. Cross to 30. Gets Submarine. Nice tackle in the open field by Brandon Weaver. Otherwise, Key might still be running. There's a penalty flag in the secondary at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it was kind of a late flag coming in, too. Don't want to speculate, but...
Personal foul against the Tigers. Wow.
Yeah, I just think some extracurriculars there from the receiver and the defensive back, and it's only what the referee saw, and it appeared that one's going to go against Moon, and already Penn Hills near midfield.
First down, Indians at the 48-yard line. Direct snap, Natel Mitchell, left side, in Moon territory, wrapped up and brought down close to the 45. The mark him at the 46. 7 yards on the direct snap. And Natel Mitchell gets his first carry of the game. He broke one last week for a touchdown for the Penn Hills Indians.
Yeah, and Bill, you were telling me beforehand, just so many weapons Penn Hills has here, and they're showing it early on.
Mitchell will go in motion to the left. Key on the belly, comes this way. Has a lane inside the 40, the 45, 35. Still on his feet inside the 30. And it'll be first down for the Penn Hills Indians at the 28-yard line. 18 yards for Amir Key. And another Penn Hills Indian first down.
Yeah, I love Key's low center of body and gravity there. Bounces off a couple guys, really hard to tackle with both his speed, but his strength showing off there in that big chunk play for 18.
Twins each way for the Indians. Key behind Duggar, who's in the shotgun. Duggar looks left, throws. Mitchell in the flat, down to about the 22-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. Picks up 6. Look, Anthony Antonades on the tackle. Mitchell in motion this way. Duggar looks this way. Pumps, swings past. Key open in the flat left side. Key inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Penn Hills Indians. Amir Key, 22 yards on the pass reception from Julian Duggar. And the Indians strike with 7:15 to go here in quarter number 1.
And what great pocket presence there from Duggar. Knew he had time, thought about running it, pulled himself back, calmly makes an easy pass to Key in the flat, gets a nice block upfield, and Key finds the end zone, no problem. A really efficient drive for Penn Hills and a really nice finish from Key and Duggar.
71 yards in 5 plays, aided by the personal foul call against the Tigers. Owen Williams' kick is up and good. 7:16 to go, first quarter. Penn Hills 7, Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. You know, Moon punted from the 32-yard line. And I was kind of thinking, well, maybe you're a little close. What do you got to lose going for? So they punted it, and Penn Hills returned it back to the 29, so it was a net of 3 yards.
It was a good punt, too.
Well, it was a good punt. But it was a better play by Strader.
Yeah, Strader made a really good play on it, right. I actually think that's the right call. I mean, playing field position early, you can't give Penn Hills great field position, but in turn it ended up giving them good field position. But I don't know. Is Duggar ambidextrous? Does he throw with his right and left hand? Because he threw one back here with his right hand, but every other throw he's made with his left. It's impressive.
Well, we're going to keep our eyes open on that one.
It's impressive. I could have sworn he threw it with 2 different hands that drive. He's impressive. He looks really comfortable back there.
From the 7. Out to the 32-yard line is Brandon Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver's proven to be a pretty good weapon both on special teams and offensively and defensively. He had a nice tackle there on the defensive side, but outside of Weaver, Moon struggling to find a lot of ground otherwise.
clock, please.
They're adjusting the clock.
I just said that 100 times. The double time.
Again, the Wildcats rumbling, knocking people over as Nazir Brookins out to the 31-yard line. Excuse me, the 36-yard line. And that's 3 yards for Brookins. Appreciate you folks tuning in and watching tonight, not only on the Indians Football Network on YouTube, but also for those of you watching our feed on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Marasco. And a penalty flag comes in. Going offsides against the Indians.
Yeah, just a quick jump there, and Moon now into a much more manageable 2nd and 3.
Again, Marasco takes his direct snap up the middle. Penalty flags come in behind the play. This play stands to be a first down for the Tigers, but usually that means holding.
Yeah, location of where the flag is located and who threw it certainly seems that way.
It is holding against the Tigers. A Marcus from the 39-yard line. So in essence, a loss of 12.
Yeah, and after just getting the +5 to make it a manageable 2nd down, now it is a...
Yeah, that would have had a first down on the Marasco run.
Slightly less manageable.
I mean, now we see Braden Stewart again, which we haven't seen for a while. And he had that nice long pass to Weaver on the first play of the game. Under pressure pass, tipped. And falls incomplete. Pass looked like it was intended for Jared Moyer.
Stewart, so just a little behind the receiver, and nice job from that second level of Penn Hills to get a hand on the ball there as well to knock it down.
The Indians getting the pressure in on him, on Stewart, but I'm impressed with his poise, standing in the pocket and getting the pass away, not panicking.
Yeah, you mentioned that on that first throw he made too. There was some pressure, and he got it away and completed it on that first drive.
Stewart again at Brookings to his right, and the Tigers use a timeout.
Yeah, I think again too many players on the field. The coaches up here in the booth caught that one.
Timeout coming with 5:54 to go in quarter number 1. Penn Hills up 7-0. For joining us late, Doug Key, 22-yard little swing pass to the left after everybody had looked to the right. He scrambled his way for the 22 in for the 7-0 Indians lead. Stewart with Brookings behind him. Stewart to straight drop, launching one downfield. Intercepted by the Indians. That was almost as good as a punt. DeAndre Cochran hauls it in at the 46-yard line, playing center field. I'm not sure if it was designed that way.
Yeah, it almost seems that way, right? The receiver was still a good 4 or 5 steps from getting that ball. You're right, from Cochran's standpoint and from Moon's standpoint, that more or less serves as a punt. But Penn Hills will take that as the ball now still nearing midfield there.
I mean, it was almost as if Cochran was back fielding a punt.
Yeah, it really did. He took 2 steps, brought that in cleanly into his chest. I mean, that's exactly what it looked like. And, again, if you almost think about the alternative. If Cochran would have thought maybe to just knock that one down and live to play another down on 3rd down. But I'm sure the Indians early in the game will take the turnover.
No, we're brought up 4th down.
Well, you're right.
No, the Indian offense back on the field, leading 7-0. Empty set. Duggar looks left, throws that way. Pass high. But it's brought down by Santana Levi Jordan. And gets a pickup of about 3 yards. Out to the 50-yard line. And mark the Indians at the 47-yard line on the interception. So now 2nd down and 7. Ball on the midfield stripe. Palmer in motion this way, but right up the middle go the Indians. Close to a 1st down is Key. Mark with the 45-yard line for a pickup of 5.
And you can see, interestingly, Moon's defensive line shuffling and up off the line. No down lineman that time, just trying to confuse Penn Hills. And Key still does a nice job to get 5 and get to that 2nd level.
Palmer and Schrader split to the left. Cochran and Levi Jordan this way, and it's going to be a delay to Key up the middle. Big hole. Amir Key spins inside the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line. We're marking at the 28. 1st down, Indians. 17 yards on the scamper by Key, and another Penn Hills Indian 1st down.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Key. Obviously, his speed is evident, but boy, real strong, breaking off tackles, hitting guys and bouncing through. Amir Key, very impressive early on here, and a big pickup on 3rd and short.
Jordan in motion this way. Key behind Duggar. Duggar, left-handed quarterback, looks left, throws down the sideline into the end zone. It's caught by Rayon Schrader for the Indian touchdown. 28 yards, Duggar to Schrader, and the Penn Hills Indians extend their lead 13-0 with 4:15 to go in the 1st.
What a pitch and catch there. I'm not sure who I'm more impressed by. Schrader, great concentration, finds himself in the end zone, makes a diving catch at that back pylon. But you can't say enough about that throw. Duggar put that right on the spot. Press coverage, good coverage by the Moon corner. But Duggar and Schrader connecting. What a great pitch and catch, 13-0 Indians.
Well, Schrader's going to Miami as a defensive back, not a wide receiver. Kick up, good. 4:15 to go, 1st quarter. Penn Hills 14, Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. For those of you watching the Indians broadcast, if you have not yet subscribed to the Indians Football Network YouTube channel, we'd appreciate it if you did. You get notices any Indians broadcast. Not only our live broadcasts on Friday night games, but also the classic games we get put up. Got up a couple of 1995 games this week. Kickoff taken by Marasco at the 5-yard line. Nice return to the 27. Tell you, Moon's doing a nice job on these kick returns. Much like Pine Richland did last week, and I discussed with Dean Delamoliva that it seemed like Pine Richland was only going to break one eventually, and they did to start the 2nd half, which started their comeback.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. Yeah, Weaver had a couple nice ones there. A nice one on that 3rd return. Yeah, you're right. The one bright spot so far has been Moon special teams. with the exception of that return they gave up to Strader back on that first punt.
Brookings. Jammed up at the line by Carter Lance. Maybe a yard. Brookings 5'11", 205, runs into the 6'2", 250 Lance.
Brookings a big body for just a sophomore. And yeah, that Wildcat, that's just trying to win one-on-one battles. And right now Penn Hills is winning those on the line and not allowing that single runner to run free.
I mean, out on the defensive line for the Indians, Carter Lance 6'2", Kelsey Hunley 6'4", James Good 6 foot.
These are some big boys up there, big men.
Stewart tucks it and runs. No, he does. Gets the pass away. The pass complete. Or is it? They're going to roll it incomplete. So I thought Jared Moyer actually hauled that in and then was separated from it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Bill. I think that's exactly the case, but I think for the in lieu of trying to figure out where that ball needs to come to, yeah, they're going to call that incomplete. It's a really nice job from Stewart, though, to hang in the pocket. There was some real pressure coming on, and he delivered a nice pass on there. Moyer just unable to hang on.
It looked like Stewart was going to tuck it away and run. And Stewart has trips to the near side. Brookings to his right in the backfield. He'll stay and block. Indians get pressure from that side. Pellman from behind, but Stewart gets the pass away, and the pass complete. Weaver out near the 50-yard line for a first down for the Moon Tigers. And Stewart and Weaver connect once again, this time for 23 yards to the Penn Hills 49.
And that's the play, I'm sure, if you're Moon, you've been waiting for. Stewart again does a really nice job, great awareness, gets that ball out. Weaver finds some space, and we've talked about how dynamic Weaver can be in open space. 23, big gain for the Tigers.
Marasco. A Wildcat for the Indians, excuse me, for the Tigers. And an offside by the Indians.
Yeah, Marasco does a nice job drawing that offsides from that Wildcat position. 1st and 5 now. Moon with a little bit of momentum here as we're nearing the 3-minute mark of the first quarter.
Then if you're joining us late, Penn Hills 14, Moon nothing. 2 touchdown passes by Jules Duggar. Marasco. Right into the arms of Keith Pellman for no gain. Pellman has been all over the place. He's been chasing Stewart around in the backfield. This time he wraps up Marasco.
Pellman, that's a great job from Pellman, recognizing the play and getting in there and then making the solid sound tackle.
Brookings. Again, just dives into the line, and the Indians are right there. This time it's James Good, the senior, with the stop. And no gain. 3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
Yeah, another great play from the Penn Hills defense. Coming off the edge was good there. And almost getting Brookings from behind to hold him to no gain. And yeah, Moon quit very quickly into a 3rd and 5.
Stewart throws right side in the pass, a little bit too far. Had Dan Henry out on the flat, but the pass incomplete. And the Tigers will have to punt once again.
Yeah, good play there. The play action works. The boot and Stewart just couldn't get enough on that pass. Good pressure from Penn Hills. Once again, we'll be saying that all night. But good pressure, and Stewart just not enough on that throw to get there. That would have been right near the sticks, too, for our first down.
Aiden Bolin back at his own 40-yard line to kick this one away. High snap. Bolin hauls it in, gets the kick away. Strader from his 15. Looks for somewhere to go across the 25 to 30. And that's where the Moon Tigers will wrap him up. Indians will take over with 1:35 to go here in quarter number 1. And they'll start at their own 30-yard line.
And we see Strader again show off his athleticism there. Another punt took him off to the left side, able to cut back and find about 15 yards. Once again, we've said it a few times, a good tackle there from Moon. Otherwise, he might still be running. And for Penn Hills, they'll take the 30-yard line and a 2-touchdown lead late in the first quarter.
Hey, y'all talk to Pellman. Y'all talk to Pellman. Y'all talk to Pellman.
Yeah, well, run at him.
Duggar in the shotgun, Key to his right.
Well,
Fake to Key, swing pass this way, and does not connect with Mitchell.
pass to Mitchell. Okay, when you get a second, I need that iPad back.
Duggar's pass intended for Mitchell. Ball's incomplete. Second and 10.
Good pressure from Moon there to get Duggar a little spooked and just sailed that pass just a little too far in the flat there. Second down.
Mitchell goes in motion to the left and comes back to the right. Stays in a block for Key, who picks up 2. Brought down around the neck, which is one way to do it. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Indians. The Indians have not had a 3rd and long tonight.
I'm trying to look. They've only had 1 third down to this point.
Indians 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Duggar will throw pressure. Screen pass to Key underneath. Breaks the tackle to 25. Tries to get to the outside across to 30. Lowers the head. And picks up another couple out to the 36-yard line, but he'll be short of the first down by 4. Top 4 yards for Amir Key.
Yeah, he ran about probably about 12 or 15 yards just to get that net 4, positive 4. The Moon defense really turns it up there. Does a nice job getting a 3 and out. Probably exactly what they needed just to keep themselves in this game for now. Clock now under a minute. Nice job defensively from Moon.
Williams gets the kick away. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. First 3 and out for the Indians tonight. Tigers will take over with 48 seconds to go at their own 35. Receiver each way for the Tigers. They go double tight. McGill in the slot. And it'll be Weaver going right side. And he gets punished by DeAndre Cochran and Keith Pellman after pickup of maybe 2.
Yeah, just trying to get Weaver into space there, running the Wildcat, running to the far side of the field. And great pursuit from the Indians defense there and a tough tackle. A few guys banged up just a little bit, but
hey, Cochran's 5'9" and Pellman's 5'10", but they can hit with the best of you.
Oh yeah, that was a definitely big collision on that far side.
And the quarter runs out. After 1. Score, Penn Hills 14, Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Only the second meeting all time between these two schools. First time Penn Hills has made the trek out here to the airport to take on the Tigers. My first trip to this stadium ever, too.
Really?
I've seen it many times. I had a son graduate from Robert Morris, so
Certainly
been by here.
it.
Been by here many a times.
Yeah, I was here twice last season, and certainly a very different Moon team last season. Saw a conference game against South Fayette that they took care of, and I think their quarterfinal game prior to running into Penn Hills in the semis, they took care of business against Woodland Hills that night. So yeah, been out here a couple of times. I always appreciate these trips living in nearby Bridgeville. This is a nice, easy trek for me, but it's nice to join you here across town.
Now second down and we'll call it 8 for the Tigers. Stewart in the shotgun, Marasco behind him. Motion this way.
Good job.
But it'll be Antoniadis.
20 personnel. Play 8.
Antoniadis picks up 6. And it'll be 3rd and 2.
Seems like we're seeing Stewart, the freshman, sort of evolve through this game, doing a nice job again. Lets that play develop and get this man out in the open for a +6 and 3rd and manageable.
Brookings behind him. It'll be Brookings. And again, it's the Indians stuffing him. Carter Lance. We'll call it no gains. Probably about loss of half a yard. But it's been tough running for the workhorse for the Tigers. And Nazir Brookings.
Yeah, Brookings has had very, very little luck so far tonight. And a credit to Penn Hills so far. They've been, I'm looking back, 0 yards, 1 yard, 3 yards. Yeah, Brookings has had absolutely nowhere to go tonight.
And it's been Lance, Hundley, and Good. Front 3 for the Indians. And now Boland gets the kick away. And it's hauled in, going right side. Santana, Levi Jordan. Yeah, get up close to the midfield stripe. I'm going to say we're going to mark him out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Another good punt return. We've now seen 3 punts from Moon, and we've seen 3 solid returns for the Indians. This one gets them out so for their best starting field position at midfield.
Levi Jordan or Levy? Levi.
Levy. Oh, Levy. I'm sorry.
Levy Jordan receives the kick. First and 10 on the 50 for Penn Hills.
That's all right. I just want I don't think Grant there come up beat me up.
Key deep in the eye behind Ugger. Palmer, slot man, comes in motion this way. He'll gets it in on the end around. And picks up 4.
Yeah, nice job there. Getting the jet sweep across, and Palmer does a nice job.
I don't know how anybody saw him. Palmer's 5'4". Levy Jordan this way. Fake to him. It'll be Key. Up the middle. Key puts the hand down, stumbles ahead, gets close to the first down at the 41-yard line for 5. And it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Indians.
Yeah, it almost looked like Key might have tripped up just a little bit. He seemed like he had a seam to get through and just gets 5. And Moon lucky that he didn't get more.
I think it's 4-down territory for the Indians if they don't get anything
I think
here.
you're 100% right there.
Levy Jordan this way, and fake to him again. It'll be Key. Key with the stutter step, moves to the right side. Inside the 35. First down, Indians at the 32. Another 9 for Mir Key. And Penn Hills with the first down at the Tigers' 32-yard line. 9.5 to go here, second quarter. Indians up 14 and looking for more.
Yeah, we're seeing very similar game plan so far to Penn Hills, and that's riding Amir Key so far. He's been excellent.
Duggar, underhand pass this way, Strader. Inside the 25, down to the 24. I'm going to walk him right at the 25.
Nice shot from Duggar there. High snap, had to control it there, and then a little Pat Mahomes sidearm finding Strader, and a really good pass on the mark. And Strader does a nice job finding positive yards, gets 7, and really almost gets himself a little bit more.
Key again comes this way, cuts it up. That will be close to a first down.
I think they're going to get it to
mark him right at the 22-yard line, 3 yards. Another first down for the Penn Hills Indians.
Oh, no, actually. Looks like they're going to mark him just short. I definitely thought he had it.
Oh, my goodness. You got to measure that.
And it looks like that's exactly what Coach Morris is over there asking for.
Well, they're going to have to move out of the way. They're going to bring those sticks out.
I've been so impressed with Amir Key, mostly to see sort of both sides. So again, the speed, we know it's there. He's gotten into space. We've seen him fly, but boy, he's been really good in between the tackles and really good vision. Been very impressed.
And they're about 2 inches short. So good eye by the officials.
I'm sure those guys carrying the sticks didn't appreciate that they had to run all the way
Well,
three-quarters of the way across the field.
That's why they're paid.
That's right.
It'll be Key. Has the lane right side. Inside at 15-10. Touchdown, Amir Key. 22 yards. Gets the first down. Gets the touchdown. And the Penn Hills Indians up by 20.
Just mentioning, I'm impressed so much with Amir Key. That time he got to show us both, inside, in between the tackles and out in space with his speed. Finds the seam, finds the hole, gets to that second level, and burns past those last few Tiger defenders on his way to pay dirt, his second tonight.
Owen Williams to try his third extra point of the game. And the kick is up and good. 7:58 to go, first half. Penn Hills 21, Moon nothing. Here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Six plays, 50 yards. 5 of them on the ground. How many go to high school games these days? How many could you say there's a 6-play drive? 5 of them were runs.
Yeah, certainly not in the last few years that I've gotten back into being involved with high school football in Western Pennsylvania. Yeah, no, this is a bit of a blast from the past a little bit, and I think it just makes this Penn Hills team so challenging. Is on top of obviously the run game they can do, to have a quarterback on top of that like Julian Duggar, who has shown he's more than capable of making a tough throw as well. That's what makes this offense so dynamic.
At the 3-yard line, Moyer. And this time the Indians cover. Be out about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, That's the first one we've seen that Moon has not had the return that we perhaps were expecting them to have. And down 3 scores here midway through the second quarter, and to start with poor field position. Still a big uphill battle for Moon.
On the 17-yard line.
We got tricks up top there, you guys. Going to treat it like, look at Rayon. Rayon got to get to the hash. Whoa.
Brookings. Again, wrapped up. The Indians are all over Brookings tonight. Natel Mitchell chases them down at the 15-yard line for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Brookings has had absolutely nowhere to go tonight. Another tough sledding there. And just couldn't quite get the edge, and Penn Hills 2 guys on him. And already second and long for the Tigers.
Brookings to Stewart's left. Their receivers this way. Stewart chased down from behind, and it'll be sacked back at the 10-yard line. And mark him at the 11. Jameer Brown came on the blitz. That'll be a loss of 4, so the Tigers looking at a 3rd and 16. Indians have been chasing down Stewart all night, the first time they've gotten to him.
Jameer Brown came completely untouched off this near edge. And just chased Stewart down, does a nice job to track him down and bring him to the turf. But yeah, like you mentioned, they've gotten good pressure, but really the first time they've gotten to him in a quarter and a half.
Stewart tries to set up the screen to Brookings, and he slides. Loses his footing and will go down at the 8-yard line.
Another loss of 3 there. And honestly, for Brookings, it might have been better he did go down. Penn Hills had that play snuffed out pretty well.
Jameer Brown was right there waiting to bring the lumber. But now Boland will be kicking from his own end zone. Indians should get great field position out of this.
There's been a few high snaps so far, too. We'll have to see if this one has the same trajectory.
Much better snap. Again, the Indians with the pressure. Line drive of a kick rolls its way towards Levy Jordan. Runs backwards and looks for somewhere to go, trying to get to the lane to the near side. And Levy Jordan will be wrapped up and brought down about the 46-yard line, right about where he caught it.
Yeah, again, a lot of work for a little net gain, but certainly wanted to give himself an opportunity, and nothing wrong with that. In all honesty, for Moon, that's a pretty good punt, too, punting from the shadow of your goalpost in the end zone. And sort of a wobbler, but he got the right bounce, and Levy Brown gave him some help there by running around. But for Moon, that's about the best you can get. But again, great field position for the Indians.
So the Indians have 5:22 on the clock. 2 timeouts, I believe.
Yeah, at least 2.
Duggar looks right, tucks it up under, gets into the pocket, penalty flag comes in, he'll slide in at the 41-yard line. He knew it was coming back. So he avoided the carnage.
Yeah, and tough break for Penn Hills there. It looks like Duggar had a lot of room to go, but yeah, smart play too on his part to recognize that he saw the hold happen and pulls himself down.
So the penalty flag 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So Lamar's got off from there, so the Indians lose 12. Will be 1st and 22. Duggar sprained his ankle last week. It hampered him all in the second half. Sprained it on the last play of the first half. Doesn't seem to have any ill effects of it on him this week.
Yeah, he's looked really sharp and certainly doesn't look like it's affecting him. I agree.
Key moves from the left to the right. Duggar looks left, throws, has a man underneath. Pass completes for 3 yards. Kenny Eason follows it in.
And still 4.5 to go, and certainly we know the explosiveness of this Penn Hills offense. We'll see if they try to push this ball downfield at all, or if they're okay with perhaps taking some time off the clock.
Duggar looks, comes this way. Throws, has a man downfield, too high for Strader. And brings up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 19, for all intents and purposes, closer to 20.
Yeah, not a lot you can do. Nice job from the offensive line to not hold anybody there. Moon getting good pressure, though, and good coverage downfield, limiting Duggar's options.
Tiger fans, third down and 19.
And Penn Hills will use a timeout. Or will they? No, they had to move the ball. Yes, looks like 3rd and 20. Tigers showing blitz. And it's just quick pass to the right. And Palmer for 2. He goes out of bounds, bring up 4th down. And Penn Hills with the rare punt of the half. Only 2nd of the game for the Indians. Clock stops with 4:07 to go. 21-0, Penn Hills on top.
Yeah, and I'm sure Penn Hills disappointed with the way that drive started after forcing a punt deep in Moon's territory and getting the ball on the Moon side of the field to only have the penalty draw them back and really end that drive for all intents and purposes. But up 3 scores, I'm sure that they'll be okay.
Pressure by the Tigers. Williams gets the kick away. Fair catch called for and made at the 32-yard line. Cardinien. Tigers take over with 4:01 to go in the first half.
Yeah, we haven't seen Moon with too many. Certainly, the first play of the game, they hit a big play to flip the field a bit, but really beyond that.
But you really haven't seen him go back to that.
No, and I really think that to some extent that might have just been a catch him off guard kind of play. But yeah, here's that empty. This is the formation they went with on that first play, so maybe we see it here.
Stewart launches one down over the middle. The pass almost caught. And once again, they were going towards Anthony Antoniades. Connected on that first play of the game to Brandon Weaver.
Yeah, that was the right idea, and they even got the matchup they wanted. It looks like the pass just sailed on him just a little bit. Tried to bring it in with one hand, unable to, and just sailed on him. But tough break from Moon there, as it looked like that play maybe had some legs otherwise.
Clock stops with 3:57 to go in the half.
And if you're Penn Hills here, maybe it's worth, I don't know if you have to use the timeout, but certainly keeping in track given that incomplete pass on first down.
Stewart under pressure. Pellman wraps him up, and it's almost picked off by Mitchell. I think Stewart gets up a little slowly.
And Stewart a bit indecisive on that play, and I think that's what came back to hurt him there. Unsure to take the sack or to run, but he tried to get rid of it and took the hit, and pass fell, for his sake, harmlessly to the turf.
Indians get the ball to start half number 2. Indians are up. We're up 21-0 at halftime last week. Brookings loses the football. It's picked up by the Indians. Keith Pellman. Pellman inside the 15.
That was Carter, bro. Carter.
The scrum will go inside the 10, and Pellman will go down at the 6-yard line. Second turnover of the game for the Tigers. This one coming with 3:40 to go. Indians will take over first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Boy, and that's the break. If you're the Indians that you could have wanted, maybe you might be able to find a second score here if they can punch one in quickly. But yeah, that's Brookings has had a rough night all night, and that's maybe the culmination of it so far in that first half, the fumble. And Pelman does a great job jumping on it and finding some positive yardage inside the 10, first and goal for the Indians.
Pelman had an interception return for a touchdown last week against Pine Richland. Twin backs behind Duggar. He'll drop and stand in between them. Mitchell to the right, Key to the left. And it'll be Key. Follows Mitchell's block. And Key will get down to about the 4-yard line. An official timeout. Penalty flags in the end zone. DeAndre Cochran does not have his helmet on.
Flag on the play.
And he's getting an ear beating by Coach Morris. Yeah, it's going to go both ways. So
Offsetting penalty.
that makes it still first down. Mitchell follows the blockers to the goal line, to the end zone. Oh, they'll mark him just short.
Mitchell, the ball carrier for Penn Hills.
Mitchell needed 6, got 5 and 15/16.
I was going to say, certainly seemed like he had it from here. The ball even looks a little shorter from what it looked like from our vantage point. Yeah, about the half-yard line now. And they still have it as third and goal here.
It's always interesting to see how they set the ball. The official came in right at the goal line, and they set it back at the 1.
Yeah, right.
Power eye for the Indians. First man is Mitchell, and he gets in for the Penn Hills touchdown. They use Key as a decoy, and Mitchell the up back. Took the handoff from Duggar and waltzed right in.
Yeah, nice little formation. You talked about that power eye they used last week. Using it there successfully, and yeah, pretty easy sled in there for Mitchell with 2:41, and extends it out to 27.
Touchdown coming with 2:41 to go here in the first half.
To attempt the extra point.
Mitchell's kick is up, and it's through. Score now, Penn Hills 28. Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. I'm not sure if the Penn Hills band is here. I know the Moon band is.
I believe I saw the Penn Hills.
There, over
I was going to say, I
right
could
over there.
have sworn I saw him here.
So at halftime, you'll be entertained by the Penn Hills and Moon area bands.
As a former high school band person, I'm always a fan of it.
Back deep for the Tigers is Weaver and Velasco to accept Williams' kick.
Again, Penn Hills gets the ball to start half number 2. Rams kick inside the 5, but this one's going to be whistled dead.
I think they're called that offside. I think whoever it was that was up next to the kicker, I think, got a bit of a head start. Quick score update, if you don't mind. South Fayette 21, Peters Township 14. Midway second quarter, so a high-scoring game between the Lions and the Peters Township Indians.
That'll be of interest to these Moon Tigers.
It will be. That's two teams off to some really good starts this year. Two teams that last year ran into some trouble, but they found their way.
So the one the Indians have scored, the Indians are looking for is that North Hills, Woodland Hills score.
Yep.
This time taken at the 10-yard line. Marasco cut it across the 30. Again, a nice return by the Tigers. It's out to the 35-yard line. Penn Hills at home next Friday night to take on these North Hills Indians. Again, it was decided last year with a touchdown pass with 2 seconds to go in the game. The Indians prevailed. The Penn Hills Indians.
I was going to say.
I always enjoyed seeing the North Hills Indians, but it's the toughest game to call.
Sure.
Because you have two hills and two Indians.
And a lot of red.
Weaver, left side. Penn Hills Indians are there. We brought down for loss of 2, Natel Mitchell.
Lewis with the tackle for Penn Hills.
And it looks like Penn Hills did call a timeout.
Timeout, Penn Hills.
I think they have one more.
I do too, yeah.
Try to get the ball back. They can go up by 35 before the half. It'll be a running clock in half number 2.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind that. And, yeah, certainly the offense has proven to be explosive enough, and certainly some miscues Moon has given back to Penn Hills, and certainly a few more plays run from this Moon offense. I don't think Penn Hills would be too upset by that.
Penn Hills 14 points off of 2 Moon turnovers. Moon hasn't played all that poorly. Just Penn Hills has played a bit better.
Oh, yeah, and we talked about this. This is a young Moon team and still finding their way a bit. And, yeah, with an offense like Penn Hills, this one's been tricky so far.
Rasco looks for somewhere to go. Gets himself some room and gets a first down for the Tigers.
Seemed to be a touchdown-saving tackle there.
Indeed.
Marasco definitely was about a leg tackle away from maybe still running, but for Moon, that's a big first down here as we approach 2 minutes.
Not only that, it kind of flips the field a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Penn Hills is going to be able to, if they are even get the ball back. I'm not sure a score is still in the playbook at this point.
Try the same thing, but they come this way, and the Indians are there. That'll be a loss of 2. And there's no more timeouts left, so the Tigers really, in essence, trying to run the clock out, I would think. Unless you see them try to go deep a little bit, but
yeah, I just want
they don't have Brandon Stewart in.
Yeah, given the recent formations, yeah, lining up on the line here, I think they're maybe if they hit one of these Wildcat type plays, other than that, taking this one to the locker room.
That'll be second and 17.
No, he did, bro. He did. Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it.
False start on the Tigers.
Again, 1:15 to go here. First half, Penn Hills 28, Moon nothing. Thank you, folks, for tuning in tonight.
Second and 17.
And for those of you watching on Penn Hills broadcast on YouTube, we appreciate if you would subscribe to the Indians Football Network. That helps our videos get noticed. Marasco again. And the Indians are right there. It's maybe 3.
Looks like they are going to call timeout.
It was Natel Mitchell with the tackle.
Penn Hills going to force them to run another play.
Yeah, 3rd and 16.
Maybe get to the punt.
Well, if they don't get the first down, they're going to force them to punt.
Maybe the idea is come after that, and they've been pretty close on a couple of blocks, so give yourself a chance and see what happens.
Or try for the strip on the Wildcat. I don't know. This would be a right play for a play action.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think down 4 touchdowns, there's certainly something to be said about taking a shot. You assume you cram everybody in the box, maybe keep one wide. Chances of a...
Or just release and end.
Yeah. We'll have to see what they go with. Same formation. Looks like it's Brookings maybe in the backfield, or Weaver, I think.
That's Weaver.
Yep.
Weaver comes this way. Has a hole inside the secondary. Has a first down and is pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. 23 yards for Weaver. Now a first down. Out of bounds with 1:02 to go. It's at the 38. Now the Tigers, instead of thinking kill the clock, got to start thinking points.
Yeah, no question. That's a big chunk play by Weaver, and haven't seen him in a while, but right time for him, and Weaver does a great job finding the seam and getting himself up for a big chunk play.
The Tigers use a timeout.
Yeah, they've been disorganized a couple times. It almost seems like after the handful of big plays they've had offensively, that's when they've seemed to have struggled the most then to regroup. And I recall watching them last year, again, a really methodical offense, a lot of running it kind of in between the tackles, kind of make the game faster by running the ball. And some of these explosive plays, it seems like it's throwing off some of the gelling of their offense.
Tell Stewart to throw it away if he has to. He can throw it away if he has to.
Stewart in. Quarterback. Expect we are going to see them throw the ball. Brookins behind Stewart. He'll stay in and block Stewart. Forced out to the left. And the Indians will bring him down at the line of scrimmage. Wrapping him up is Kelsey Hundley. Back to lose a yard, so we'll call that a sack.
Yeah, clock ticking now to 35 seconds and counting. Not a ton of urgency here.
And trips to the left, Weaver to the near side. Keep your eyes, they have the one-on-one matchup with Weaver. Stewart, no, throws underneath, had the man open and almost picked off by Strader. But had he been able to connect with Jared Moyer, that might have been 6.
Yeah, it almost seems like both teams there almost had a chance that a bit of a broken play. Stewart does a nice job to find himself, push the pocket up, and get a throw off when you're red. I think if Moyer was able to bring that in, he might have found the pylon. But to the same turn, it seemed like Penn Hills was in a good position maybe to tip ball to get that going the other way. But for both teams, maybe fortunately and unfortunately, it falls incomplete.
Empty set, 5 receivers, 3 to the near side, Twins left. Stewart launches over the middle and a pass too high for Antonides and almost picked off by DeAndre Cochran.
And that's a situation there where I think Stewart's glad that one fell incomplete. That ball just gets a little more air in it, and Cochran picks that off. I think he's running, taking that one the other way. There was a lot of open space in front of him.
Well, 4th down for the Tigers. They're going to go for it. Really nothing to lose.
Yeah, 15 seconds. And
if you get a first down and they stop it, you got to get up and set yourself up for a spike to get another play or something out of bounds.
Yeah, I think you got to be looking sideline here and try to get a 10, 12-yard out route, get to the first down, and give yourself
looking sideline opens up the middle. Throws deep, pass picked off by the Indians. DeAndre Cochran looks for some room to run. Cochran will be wrapped up and brought down at the 47-yard line with 45 with 5 seconds to go. Now what does Penn Hills do here?
I mean,
you get the ball to start the second half.
You do. I mean, I don't think.
And I think looking back at what happened to Jules Duggar on the last play of the first half last week when he got rolled on his ankle.
Sure.
I think maybe they just
sit on it and take that one, take a 4 touchdown lead to the locker room. Don't get greedy here.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
we get the ball.
I mean, I certainly think there's logic to that. It doesn't appear that they're. And Moon obviously in a bit of a prevent. Duggar in the shotgun though. It looks like he's maybe going to give it a sling.
Let's see if they can get break key. Mitchell, we'll get him to the near side. Well, we'll pad the stats. No, stays on his feet. Mitchell inside the 40, finally brought down at the 35-yard line.
Pad the stats a little bit at least.
Well, pads the stats with a first down and 19 yards receiving and 19 yards passing. But we go to halftime with the score. Penn Hills 28, Moon nothing. Indians get the ball to start half number 2. In the meantime, we're going to push the little red button and we're going to enjoy the Penn Hills and Moon area bands.
Welcome to halftime. Featuring 20 great minutes of music and entertainment. We start with the band coming onto the field right now for your viewing and listening pleasure. They'll give you chills and musical thrills. The pride of Penn Hills, the 2022-2023 Big Red Marching Band. This year's show, composed by Randall Stanridge, is entitled The Warriors. The Warriors presents the tale of a group of villagers who must embark on a perilous journey. We begin by traveling through mystic mountains and dry deserts to arrive at the village, where we meet our travelers in all their glory. Before departing, the villagers convene with the spirits to get guidance for their journey. The trip is filled with obstacles, which the villagers continuously overcome to return home triumphantly. And the direction of our drum majors, Dominic Frollo and Mariah Lomax, is your band ready? It looks like they are now time to present the Warriors with the Penn Hills marching band.
Wonderful introduction. Love it.
You have just witnessed the moving tale of the Warriors with the Penn Hills Big Red Marching Band. The band is led by Tiffany Zizinski. Assistant directors are Laura Fitzroy and Brandy Pertinacci. Color guard instructor is Cassie Kirby. Major ed instructor is Laura McConnell. Percussion instructor is Dave Kirby. This year's field drill was created by Mac Pinata. This is the voice of the band, Eric Cooper, saying thank you so much for your attention and support this evening. We say good luck to the Penn Hills Marching Band as they perform their first competition tomorrow at Baldwin. And now let's enjoy the rest of the halftime and see who the homecoming king and queen are. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention to the 50-yard line. Introducing the 2022-2023 Homecoming Court. First up, we have Bailey Elkert, escorted by Raleigh Rickard. Bailey is the daughter of Danielle and Matt Elkert. She's a member of the National Honor Society and the Just for Kicks Karate and Self-Defense Organization for over 5 years. She has been playing the piano for 11 years and a member of the Moon Area High School Honors Choir for 3 years. In her free time, you can find Bailey striking the 9-iron on the golf links. She will be attending West Virginia University next fall, majoring in forensic examination. Up next, we have Greer Erhard, escorted by Alexander Stern. Greer is the daughter of Greg and Allison Erhard. She is a member of the Key Club and Peer-to-Peer. She is the treasurer of the National Honor Society and officer in the Future Leaders Club, which is responsible for planning and operating the Girls' Night Out activity in the spring for incoming freshman girls. She is also a member of the jazz band and plays the piano for the Moon Area Marching Band. Greer is a 4-year member of the varsity tennis team and is the team captain this school year. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year university to major in chemistry. Welcome to the field, Ada Carpa, escorted by Patrick Diana. Ava is the daughter of Todd and Christy Carpa. She is a historian for her senior class, copy editor for the school newspaper Moonbeams, and secretary for the National Honor Society. She is also a member of the Future Leaders Club and Peer-to-Peer. She is a 3-year letter winner and second-team all-conference for Moon Area Varsity Softball. And she also plays for the Pittsburgh Power Travel Softball team. Ava plans to attend a 4-year university to major in English and secondary education while playing softball. Next, we have Ella Waynesberger. She's escorted by Anthony Launder. She's the daughter of Aaron and Philip Waynesberger. She is the president of Students Against Destructive Decisions Club and a youth leader at St. Philip's Church. She's also a member of the Moon Area Girls Lacrosse Team and National Honor Society. In the course of her high school career, she has obtained over 250 community service hours. Ella plans to attend a university in the South to pursue a career as a nurse anesthetist. Please welcome Tessa Roma, escorted by Ryan Copay. Tessa is the daughter of Marty and Dana Roma. She's a member of the National Honor Society and Students Against Destructive Decisions Club. She plays on the Moon Lady Tiger soccer team and was part of the 4A WPIAL and state championship team. She is also a WPIAL champion for Moon Gymnastics, where she was part of the WPIAL team championships along with an individual event champion on event bars. In addition to her WPIAL individual championships, she's also the state individual champion for event bars. She plans to attend a 4-year university where she will major in engineering or pre-med. And last but certainly not least, please welcome Carly Yannick. She's escorted by Tyler Zubrid. Carly is the daughter of Shannon and Eric Yannick. She's a member of the peer-to-peer club and on the honor roll. She participates in track and field, where she varsity lettered for the past 3 years, and is a member of the Elite Sprint Athletics Track Club. She's a scholar athlete and was May 2022's Athlete of the Month. She also serves as the Moon Tigers wrestling manager. She plans on attending college somewhere warm and in the South to study nutrition while continuing her track and field career. And now let's give a round of applause for the 2021 homecoming queen, Miss Chloe Kemp. She's here to hand off the crown to the new winner. Chloe, if you could please do us a favor and put that crown on the head of your 2022 Moon Area High School homecoming queen, Miss Carly Yannick. Congratulations, Carly, and everybody else who was on the homecoming court.
What's that? Yeah. I was going to say, when I was in high school, Norwin had a great thing. Norwin and Kiski were the two big bands happening when I was in high school. See, I play in the marching band and one homecoming game now, actually. So. What's that? Stop Park.
You know Bobby Locker was there?
I was. I graduated in 05, but they won the state title the year after I graduated high school. Okay. Yep. Tom Martin was? He was my algebra teacher. He was my algebra. Dude. Is he still coaching at, what, Fox Chapel? Interesting. Have a good one. Thank you.
and Tiger fans, we remind you to stick around after the game. The Moon Varsity Band will be performing their halftime routine.
Second half action about to get underway at Moon Tiger Stadium with the score Penn Hills 28 and the Moon Tigers nothing. Greg Smith, it's really all Indians in the first half, clearly.
Yeah, certainly the score is indicative of that, and yeah, it's really been the Indians from start to finish. Moon maybe a few glimpses here or there, but for the most part, yeah, this has really been in control of Penn Hills for the first 24 minutes of play.
I think the big story of the first half, the Indians as a team were 10 of 12 for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. But Rayon Strader 1 for 1 with 4 yards.
Yeah, I mistakenly thought that Julian Duggar was ambidextrous throwing with his right and left hand, but we were incorrect, or at least I was incorrect on that first pass of the game. Strader, though, that was a great pass. A nice little 4-yard dump into the flat and got the drive going.
That's usually he's had him come into. Duggar had to sit out of play. Now they put Strader back there. They let him throw the ball.
They didn't miss a beat.
No, not at all. With some individual stats, rushing-wise, Mir Key, 9 carries, 79 yards, and a 23-yard touchdown for the Indians. Julian Duggar, 9 of 11, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. Passing-wise, Mir Key was 30 yards, 3 catches. Rayon Strader, 2 for 35. Natel Mitchell, 2 for 34. Kenny Eason, 1 for 3. Natel Mitchell rushing has 3 carries, 9 yards. Also has a touchdown. Got all 6 yards after the fumble return down to the 6. Got 5, and then the last one.
Yeah, they let him do it all on that one. And, yeah, it sticks out to me, those 2 touchdown passes we talked about Duggar throwing, both of them just really great passes. That first one to Strader in the corner was just a dime, finding in that back pylon.
That's a catch you see on ESPN.
It really is. I hope that we can make sure we get that on all the social media feeds and everything. That was really a complete play from start to finish.
Now the Moon Tigers are kicking things off. They're down 28. Penn Hills, they go up 35. It's a running clock, and it's a tough road to hoe if the Tigers want to get back into it.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Moon, they've been here before. Again, a couple games this year that have gotten out of hand pretty quickly, and it seems that this is on track for that. And I think if you're Penn Hills, it's not losing sight of that, right? You're up 4 touchdowns. Certainly you're feeling good. Again, that first half, pretty dominant performance by the Indians, but just you can't let a team like this hang around. Certainly these Moon guys were around last year, a team that went to the WPIAL championship. I think if you're Penn Hills, it's important to come out, continue, kind of sort of finish your business in essence and try to get off this field more or less quickly and safely as possible.
How long do you think Chuck Morris keeps some starters in there for the Indians?
So, I mean, again, I think you almost have to give yourself a little bit of a buffer, right? Certainly your defense is going to do a good job. But we saw towards the end of that second quarter, Moon started to get some chunk plays, started to sort of take some chances downfield a bit, and certainly now down big 4 scores. You have to assume that they're going to continue that. So I think if you're Penn Hills, maybe 2 more scores. If you can get up 42, and if you're able to do that, I think at that point, I think you can pull the starters.
Well, the Indians have done well running the football. I don't see them moving from that that strategy.
Yeah, not quite as dependent on the. Again, I think I saw last week, and you can certainly confirm this. 7 passes were thrown by Penn Hills last week. It wasn't many. It is what it appeared.
It was remarkably high school football like.
So I imagine. So already they've surpassed last week's passing attempts totals, and given that they're up 4 scores, I have to think the Indians will settle into a run-heavy dose here in the second half.
The Tigers 89 total offensive yards in the first half. 45 of them came on the first play.
Yeah, and Weaver, Brandon Weaver, sort of seemingly the big play threat for Moon. We saw Marasco with a couple nice chunk yards there towards the end, but for the most part, yeah, Moon been void of any real big game-changing plays so far.
Well, the Tigers will be kicking left to right. I mean, down 28 points. I mean, do you even consider an onside kick to start things off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess your only fear is to get to that running clock too soon, too quickly, if Penn Hills were able to recover. But I certainly think down 28, I don't think anything's off the table.
And the Tigers kick it away. High, deep, Strader at the 6. Strader looks for lane, coming to the near side, across the 35, the 40. Strader with 1 man to beat, near side. Strader up the sideline, and nobody's going to catch him. Rayon Strader, 94 yards for the Penn Hills touchdown on the opening play of half number 2.
I think they threw a flag back at about the 40-yard line. But boy, Strader made that look effortless. But it looks like this one might be coming back.
Well, funny, though, because Penn Hills gave up a touchdown on a opening kickoff of half number 2 last week. Then they go and they score one themselves, but this one's going to be called back.
Yeah, again, that's kind of one of those plays, too, where I'm sure if you go back and watch the tape of that one, that block in the back, whether or not it truly aided Strader, again, he made that look pretty easy and some otherwise good blocking. So a break for Moon there. But for Penn Hills, yeah, just one mistake brings that one all the way back to the 28-yard line.
Well, certainly disappointment for Rayon Strader. But the Indians do get the possession.
Yeah. Penn Hills offense not even on the field yet. Play clock ticking down to about 15 seconds.
I think the Indians are going to have to use a timeout. 4 seconds on the clock.
They're actually going to take the delay of game.
Duggar's going to come out throwing. Safe in the pocket, throws downfield, has a man, and a pass incomplete. He was looking for Martell Palmer. I thought maybe they were going to be going deep to Strader to try to get that touchdown back.
Yeah, sure, get it back for him, yeah. Not a bad throw there from Duggar, but yeah, it just kind of fell just harmlessly to the turf, kind of in between 3 or 4 guys. Palmer, the intended receiver. But, yeah, maybe just a little miscommunication on that play, but nevertheless for Penn Hills, it falls for incomplete, and just a 2nd and 15.
Key goes in motion. That'll be the jet sweep to Key. And the Tigers defend it nicely. But Key does pick up 3 yards. And it'll be a 3rd down and we'll call it 12.
Yeah. Key almost seemingly ran past Duggar without the ball. Duggar kind of had to stick it out that extra arm length to get it to Key there. Again, not sure if that's miscommunication or what that is, but Key does a nice job to at least get a few from it.
The Tigers jump off sides. Coming up to show blitz was Caden Newhouse, but he encroached.
Yeah, and if you're Newhouse there, I'm sure somebody will give him a quick talking to on the sideline there. Right idea, come up and show blitz from the backside. But yeah, just one step too far and unable to control himself getting out of encroachment. And that's a big penalty, right? 3rd and 12. Feels like maybe Moon gets a little momentum, maybe get a quick 3 and out, and all of a sudden a 3rd and 7 and a much more manageable down distance to go for Penn Hills.
11 minutes to go in the 3rd. Penn Hills 28, Moon nothing. Duggar will move Mitchell to the right, and looks like the Tigers jumped off again, but no call. Duggar steps up into the pocket, launches one downfield towards Cochran, and it's in and out of the hands of Cochran. It was almost intercepted, and then it was almost caught. Christian Kirkland had it, and I think that's how it may have disrupted Cochran. But it bounced off of Kirkland into Cochran, and Cochran was unable to hold on.
Yeah, and I think most importantly for Penn Hills there, Duggar, Duggar took a low hit there. Backside pressure coming and almost got chopped a little bit. Seems to get off the field under his power. You're right. That's one of those plays where I think both teams can sort of take a deep sigh of relief that it didn't go the other way, but both teams had a real opportunity. That ball looked primed to be intercepted. And then it hit Cochran in the hands, and it was there for him.
Well, the Tigers do what they wanted to do, and that was keep the Indians off the board. It was, for all intents and purposes, it was a 3 and out, but there were 2 penalties.
And for Moon, it's going to be a 1st down at their own 38. That's probably about as good a field position as Moon started with all game so far.
Now we see Braden Stewart, the freshman, coming in, number 11.
I think we saw Stewart develop, like I said, evolve a bit in that first half. Started to get a little bit more comfortable, take some more chances downfield. But that Penn Hills defense is also starting to get to him a bit.
That'd be Joey Marasco looking to go left, and the Indians are right there. Coming up with the stick was Tawan Brandy. And Bandy stops him for a pickup of but 2 yards.
Seen a heavy dose of Marasco. He got the bulk of the carries on that last drive before the first half ended. And Moon is trying to cycle players out, keep guys fresh, and we'll see if they decide to go to the air here on 2nd down.
Christopher Lindsay to Stewart's right. Stewart steps up, quarterback keeper. He'll have the 1st down coming to the near side. Has a lane across the 50 and out of bounds at the Penn Hills 40-yard line. Stewart scrambles for 20. And the Tigers have a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a really heads-up play. Stewart probably could have slid down a few times there, but taking his chance and does a great job getting out of bounds into Penn Hills territory. And we're seeing the freshman make some plays here in the 3rd quarter.
Stewart will throw under pressure. Steps up into the pocket and gets another nice gain. It's down to the 40-yard line. Picks up 2.
Not sure if these are designed sort of QB draws or not, but Stewart seemingly okay with taking them these last two plays. And Penn Hills defense a bit caught off guard here with these QB runs.
Little swing pass intended for Marasco, incomplete. Not sure. Kelsey Hunley almost got a paw on it. I don't know if he did tip it at all, but he was right there, but certainly got the hand up in between Marasco and the football.
Yeah, I'm with you. I couldn't quite tell from here whether or not his hand deflected that ball for a second there. The officials were a little late to blow that whistle, almost indicating a backwards pass, but the whistle does blow, and the pass haul is incomplete. But a 3rd and 8 here. Moon a couple first downs, trying to build off some momentum.
Third and 8. Yeah, Weaver. Weaver follows the blockers. And the Indians do a nice job of stopping it. Carter Lance with the tackle for no gain. And it'll be 4th down and 8 for the Tigers.
Yeah, there was a holding they called there on Moon, and it looks like the official discussing. And he's actually going to accept the penalty, it looks like.
Yeah, it's penalty's back at the 46-yard line.
Number 13's in, bro. Number 11's in too. 11 and 13.
Yeah, so an interesting decision from Coach Morris, but you're right. I think that's the smart play. And it gives Moon a 3rd and forever here. 3rd and more than 20, it looks like.
Coach Morris playing the field position game here.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play here, taking the hold.
Stewart under pressure. Pellman will sack him back at the... No, they won't. He gets the pass away. Weaver hauls it in. And Weaver to the 37-yard line.
That was one of the more wild plays I've seen in a long time. They had Stewart dead to right.
I thought Pellman had brought him down.
I think he did. And then on top of that, he gets the pass away to Weaver. Weaver then juggles it up in the air and takes a few steps without it corralled, but he's able to bring it in, and a great open field tackle. Otherwise, Weaver might be pick up the first down, but now a 4th and 5.
Stewart under pressure, gets the pass away, and is it caught? They're going to say it is. Carter Lance almost got to Stewart, but hauling it in was Carden again. No, what are they doing? Are they bringing this one back?
It was incomplete.
Oh, is that what they're rolling it?
That must be. Sure looked like he caught it from our vantage point. And certainly the way that the crowd reacted, we were...
I wasn't sure. I was waiting for the official call. When the official came running up to spot it, the officials discussed, and someone with a better view came in to say, no, I did not get it.
I mean, I guess that's a good call for sure. I just...
I'd rather they discuss and get it right.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Oh, no,
But it's first down for the Indians.
Sure. Oh, I have no doubt that they made the correct call in the field. It's just a bit of confusion there for us to get to this point, that's all.
And that was a 4th down play. So Penn Hills takes over. So Carter Lance, who almost got the sack on the play, forced the hurried pass. Now is over the ball as the Indian center. Mitchell, motion this way and goes back. And it'll be Key. Key with a hole across the 40. Carries Tigers out to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, nice 6-yard first down pickup for Amir Key. And again, just been so impressed with him. Low center of gravity and getting in between the tackles.
Key again, breaks the tackle in the backfield. Another one at the line of scrimmage, fights his way ahead. We'll have the Indians first down at the 49-yard line. Hard fought 6 yards for Key. In fact, they'll mark him at the 50 for a pickup of 7.
Yeah, does it all there. Breaks the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Then able to put his foot in the ground, make a jump cut, and get himself out. And you're right, get a nice chunk of 7. Yeah, Key doing it all so far on this drive. 13 yards on just 2 carries.
The only thing Houston should have did was he didn't get hands on him at the line of scrimmage and let him get inside.
Fake to Key. Duggar. Short hops it to Cochran. And brings up a second down. 6:55 to go third quarter. Penn Hills 28. Moon nothing. Along with Greg Smith, I'm Bill Navari. Great to have you on a beautiful Friday night in the shadows of the Greater Pittsburgh International Airport and Robert Morris University. We are on the campus of Moon High School, Moon Area High School. Key bounces through Tigers to the 45. Another 5 for Amir Key.
Yeah, and it feels like
he is a bowling ball.
Yeah, he really has been. It feels like Penn Hills is trying to really establish himself on this drive after that really, as we talked about, more or less a quick 3 and out to start the half. I think this is where Penn Hills coming in to sort of assert their dominance and try to get themselves to that running clock, and they know the key to that is through the legs of Amir Key.
He is the key to the offense.
Forgive my puns there.
Mitchell cuts it back. Gets wrapped up after a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 2. Tigers did a nice job of closing on the ball to hold Mitchell for a pickup of 3, especially after he cut back. Looked like it was going to be a big play. The Tigers were able to bottle him up.
It looks like a 4th down here, and positive side of the 50. Penn Hill's going to go for it.
Palmer in motion this way, now it goes back. Mitchell in the slot. And it's going to be Key. Key is hit in the backfield in the Tigers' hole. Making the play is Lucas Bender. And the Indians turn the ball over on downs.
Yeah, great job from the Moon defense. 2nd straight drive now that their defense has stood tall, and that time they just really won up front. Were able to get inside and get that tackle on Key and keep him from reaching the sticks. And again, if you're Moon, the defense has really refocused itself, and I think Penn Hills has become a bit one-dimensional with the score being what it is. But give Moon some credit there. 2 straight possessions of their defense winning out.
Well, the Indians turned 2.5 minutes off the clock on their 6-play drive. And Marasco loses 2. Again, the Indian defense is just swarming to the ball.
Oh yeah, again, you can find a few chunk plays, and Stewart's been much better here in this second half, but yeah, this Penn Hills defense has been nothing short of dominant really for the better part of this game.
I mean, it's sometimes hard to figure out who made the tackle because there's just so many white jerseys around the ball.
Yeah, you've mentioned their line and the size of that defensive line, and yeah, they're really enforcing their will so far.
3 yards for Brookins, who had a tough first half.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Brookins. That was his first carry here in the second half, and yeah, like you mentioned, yeah, real tough sledding in that first half. Don't have the chat in front of me, but I imagine it was less than 10 yards what he came away with there.
He had the fumble, which led to the Indians' 4th touchdown. The 6-yard touchdown drive. Stewart looking left, under pressure. Gets by the first man, gets his pass away as he's held up. Dan Henry with the ball. Henry looks for somewhere to go, and he'll be close to a first down. Boy, he's looking Ben Roethlisberger-ish back there.
He really is. He's been really impressive. A bit banged up on that play. Looks like he's coming off the field, but yeah, that's a real heads-up play there. I've been incredibly impressed with his demeanor and really just his effort so far. He's been really good the second half.
Well, 4th and 2 now for the Tigers. There were 2 Indians all over him, and he got that pass away.
Yeah, he got that. Absolutely, he did.
Had the wherewithal to find Henry. And instead of getting sacked and punting, they're now looking at a 4th and short. Brookins.
Yep.
Has no gain on the counter. Lost his footing as he started to run. And the Tigers turn the ball over on downs.
It's kind of a game of keep away from the offenses. Both teams just trading it back and forth right around midfield. Easy work for our camera person today.
Duggar fakes to Key, throws, pass, complete, Strader. Strader inside the 40, brought down at the 35-yard line. He might have still been running, but Aiden Schnurr brings him down.
Yeah, and that's a good pass, and that's a good catch in traffic there. Strader had a couple defenders on him, makes that catch, holds on to the ball as he meets some contact and able to get some yards after catch. That's a nice pickup of 15 and a good first down pass there from Duggar to get some momentum back for the Indians.
Little problem with the sticks on the far side. Which is, do you know, by rule, the sticks chains have to be on the side opposite the press box?
I mean, as somebody who calls games, that is much appreciated.
Yeah, that is well, yeah, that's why they do it. But it is a rule. Key cuts it in the backfield, makes another cut. Right side, almost breaks it. Weaver with the tackle, just short of the first down. Well, the reason for that is there are teams who, home teams who will take the far side of the field. And they don't want the sticks. They don't want to throw the sticks against have their opponents deal with it.
Right.
But then you really can't see them from the press box and everything. And the whole idea of it is to be able to be seen from up above.
Sure.
So, by rule, they are on the far side. Key cuts it back. First down, Penn Hills. And brought down at the 21-yard line. Nick Hagues, 6'4", will bring him down at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, nice job. And again, Penn Hills, when they need it, Amir Key is their guy and does a nice job there, picking up 4 and the first down for the Indians.
Clock running, 90 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Penn Hills 28, Moon nothing. Key goes in motion out to the right. Duggar, straight drop's going to throw. Steps, looks, throws towards the end zone. Schrader, excuse me. That was Palmer, I do believe. And the pass incomplete. It looks like he was there.
Yeah, that throw was there. That ball should have been caught. That's a good throw there from Duggar, and I think Palmer just maybe didn't get his hands in the right place, just maybe sailed a bit on him. But, yeah, that ball was there, and Palmer had his man beat. And the ball just unable to be brought in. Key in the eye behind Duggar. And it'll be Key inside the 20-yard line. 15, 10. Key down to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Indians. Every time they need it, that's their guy, Amir Key, finding it again, getting him a 1st and goal to go, and see if they let him finish out this drive.
Key right up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn Hills. Amir Key, 6 yards. Penn Hills up 34-0.
And that's the way to top it off, and a well-deserved touchdown run for Amir Key as he really carried the load there. An early pass from Strader, but other than that, that was Amir Key the rest of the way, and that's his 3rd score of the night, 2nd on the ground. And like you said, Penn Hills with the extra point can bring on the running clock here, now leading 34-0.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. The score, Penn Hills 35, Moon nothing. 35 seconds to go here in quarter number 3, and we will have a running clock the rest of the way.
Probably took a little longer than you or I could have expected, being 28-0 at half. Again, give Moon defense some credit. 2 drives, they got Penn Hills off quick, but yeah, 3rd time was not a charm for the defense, and Penn Hills able to convert.
Well, sitting in the booth, is when you hit the mercy roll, games are it's never fun to call.
They're a little less fun, but certainly for the Penn Hills crowd, 35-0. Better to be on the. It was a better side to be on for that. So for the Penn Hills Indians, certainly the better side of this Mercy game right now.
Well, it's the most offensive points the Indians have scored so far this season. Again, they have a big game next week against North Hills. What could ultimately decide the conference. Williams kick, taking it to 4, bobbled, pick up Weaver, looks for somewhere to go. Right up the middle, Weaver across the 25, across the 20, goes down close to the 25 at the 24-yard line.
A late fly got thrown in.
Jameer Brown. With the tackle for Penn Hills. Remember, as soon as the officials set the ball, personal foul call against Penn Hills. Bring it up to the 40-yard line. And as soon as they set it, the clock will run.
See if
Screen, go get him. Blow him up. Yeah.
Marasco dropped back at the 32-yard line. For a loss of 8. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. After 3, Penn Hills 35, Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Marasco takes the handoff, goes right side across the 40, down to the 41-yard line.
Marasco, the ball carrier for the Tigers.
And gets all and maybe a little bit more back from that first down loss.
And there's an injured Indian.
We have an injured player down the field.
And it's the Cramps. Penn Hills will be home next Friday night to take on the North Hills Indians. Moon will be traveling over the river and through the woods up to Mars. Moon and Mars.
Always,
they will be in retrograde next Friday night.
Always one of the favorites on the schedule. I always wonder what somebody from another area of the country would see when they look at that game between Moon and Mars. Up at Planet Stadium.
Planet's off to a great start this year.
Few scores from around the WPIAL. Nothing that involves either of these teams, but just so you know, Jeanette 60, Fraser 14, Our Lady of Sacred Heart 55, Carlinton 0, and Alderdice a 40-6 winner over Perry in the City League. I think Carlinton has one of the longer active losing streaks in the WPIL. A few teams recently broke out of that. I think Fraser actually might have been one of the teams who broke out of that. But
Franklin, after 3, Franklin Regional 13, Gateway 7.
That's one that carries a little bit. Saw Peter South Fayette 21-21. That's a good one.
Weaver breaking tackles, gets a first down for the Tigers. And the Tigers move the sticks.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Brandon Weaver. He's been pretty effective when he's been on the field, and again gets them a first down. Nice chunk play there.
Antonades in at quarterback. Gets away from Brown deep, but does not get away. I'm not sure if that was Bernard Nadoom. Yeah, excuse me, I think it was Daquan Lewis. And he'll lose a yard. Plum beating up on Norwin 28-7. And Marasco for 2.
Yeah, just again, Penn Hills
3rd and 9.
Continuing to dominate up front, and
Bethel Park up 29-28 over Cannon Mac heading into the fourth quarter.
It's a big one for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks off to a good start. Tough loss against Central Catholic last week. Thomas
Jefferson on top of Latrobe 28-21 after 3. Waver comes this way. Has some blockers in front, but Natel Mitchell says, not my way. He'll drop him for a loss of 1.
That was, boy, Mitchell saw that one. Great vision, cutting right through and blows up that play right on Weaver. Really good defensive play from Mitchell. that'll be one they circle on the film to go back and watch. That's the kind of vision I'm sure they want from that linebacking group, and Natel Mitchell showing off right there.
It's 4th down. The Tigers will go for it. 8:20 clock running. Tigers use a timeout. That's one of the only ways, one of the few ways it can be stopped. 8:18 to go 4th quarter. Penn Hills 35. Moon nothing.
Boys cross country team finished 6th place. Led by J.J. Hall, 4th place finish. Girls cross country team finished 11th place. Led by Cruz, 22nd place finish. Team also double win season boys winning United and the season losing to SC and girls winning both.
Well, Woodland Hills and North Hills social medias are very quiet.
I don't know if that's good or who that's good or bad for.
Pass thrown behind Antonides. And Penn Hills will take over on downs.
Yeah, that passing game just hasn't come together, and Stewart.
Clock should be running.
Even on the change of possession?
I do believe so. Once they set the ball, it'll start to run.
Sure. See if let's sort of line up Penn Hills trots out here, running clock now, approaching 8 minutes.
Well, I think we see Penn Hills run the ball and try to use all 25 seconds of the play clock. Like I said, the Indians didn't get the playoff.
Yeah, they're going to get the delay game there. That's exactly it.
Richard Hauser had the carry for the Indians.
Or excuse me, a timeout.
They called timeouts. Yes, they did. 7:41 to go here, 4th quarter. Again, Penn Hills up 35-0.
Yeah, again, give Moon some credit. They found a bit of will here in the second half, and the defense has stepped up. But yeah, the offense, and you look back for the first 3 games of the season for Moon, it has been about the offense. Again, just 11 points in 3 games coming into tonight, and so far that total has not been changed now through almost 4 games. Really just unable to establish the run consistently. Again, we've seen some really nice plays from Stewart, the freshman quarterback, but just haven't been able to put it all together quite yet.
And Trafford's up 14-13 over Bell Vernon. A minute to go in the 4th. And it is Hauser. Pickup of 2.
Looks like maybe Moyer down, the injured player for the Tigers, being tended to at the moment.
So the clock will stop with 7:16 to go. The Indians with a 2nd down and 8. Avonworth 50, Hopewell nothing. I got behind the Avonworth buses on the way here, trying to get across the Sewickley Bridge.
I got a chance to see Avonworth last week, hosting Stowe Rocks. That was a fun 3A, 2A matchup of some powerhouses there. Avonworth came out on top. Stowe Rocks just a ton of mistakes. I think 15 penalties, and really just caught up to him in the end. But that was a fun one. Avonworth and Stowe Rocks both be a team to watch in both AA and AAA.
Franklin Regional with a field goal. They're up 16-7 over Gateway in the 4th. Early in the 4th.
certainly a big one to watch.
Yeah, Penn Trafford coming from behind to take the lead over Bell Vernon with a minute to go in the game. Hauser again looks for somewhere to go and gets another yard.
Ball might have came out, it looks like.
Well, I'm going to say the Indians recover because the clock's running.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, nope.
Nope, they are calling it. First turnover of the game for the Indians. So the Tigers with some life.
Yeah, and tough break for Hauser. Just his second carry of the game, trying to break into a little bit and puts that ball on the turf.
The second carry of the season.
Second carry of the season. There you go. Tough break for him there, but yeah, for Moon, just a little bit of life here, and again, the offense, a really stagnant offense for this whole season so far. Maybe an opportunity for the Tigers to put some points on the board and build a little more momentum towards next week.
And it's a final, Penn Trafford.
Wow,
with the win over Bell Vernon.
I'm sure those two.
Stewart this time will be wrapped up and brought down. Carter Lance will not be denied on the sack this time. First time it really brought him down tonight.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the second sack we have. But yeah, Stewart's otherwise been really good. But yeah, that one's a big loss. Off about 11 yards there on that one. Yeah, just nowhere to throw that one out to. We've seen him on a number of times have a safety valve to sort of check that too, or his players sort of attend to at that time. No Moon Tiger nearby, and Carter Land's going to take advantage of that and bring him to the turf.
Clock running, 5:10 to go fourth quarter. Penn Hills up big. 35-0. It's 28-0 at the half. Stewart looks left down the sideline towards Frazier. And the pass almost picked off by Strader. It comes down kind of hard, but bounces back up. Penn Hills coaches can start breathing again.
Schrader, boy, yeah, really close to landing in bounds on that one. Again, had the kickoff return taken off the board on the penalty. Does have a touchdown catch here tonight, but yeah, Schrader's been just a few inches away from having a really special night, in addition to an already good one so far.
We throwing downfield. Is it picked off? It is not.
Yeah, I really think that was a case that Stewart just didn't really get enough on that pass, and that ball just fluttered a little short of the defending corners for Penn Hills.
I think Palmer and Cochran kind of ran into each other.
Yeah, yeah, good coverage again. Not a lot Stewart could do. I think that ball honestly just floated a little short of him.
Fourth down for the Tigers. They will punt.
Yeah, with the running clock, that seems to be about the only thing they really have an option to do.
Kick high. Hits it to 32. Takes a Tiger bounce. Now back the other way.
Now back the other way.
And goes at the 25-yard line. Indians take over with 3:08 to go here in the fourth. At their own 25. Penn Hills, I mean, you run plays. I mean, you could take some knees here and just chew clock.
Yeah, and looking back through this half, again, coming off the turnover on downs, Penn Hills took the ball over at the 50-yard line, a nice little 6-play, 50-yard touchdown drive at the end of the third quarter, and really other than that, it's been a pretty straightforward second half here.
Palmer cuts it back this way. Palmer spins ahead for 4.
Palmer, the ball carrier for Penn Hills.
Duggar still in a quarterback for Penn Hills.
Makes the tackle.
I imagine that they're not going to ask him to do a whole lot here now.
Just manage themselves out of this one.
Yeah, really, just keep everybody healthy and get everybody safely off this field, and I think we'll be all will end okay.
Play clock under 10. They snap it at 8.
Okay, so
Left side, nice one-to-one, Brandy. Bandy will have a first down in Tiger territory. Carries Tigers inside the 30-yard line.
Andy, the ball carrier for Penn Hills. Salas with the tackle, but not until Penn Hills
from South Carolina.
50 yards I'm giving him.
Yeah, and that's a really nice run there for Bandy. Nice to see it.
All my players have nicknames.
Wow, that's funny.
Hauser tries to follow the blockers left side and goes out of bounds at the 25.
Nice to see Penn
And clock
Hills.
under a minute.
Yeah, nice to see some guys getting some action here. Hauser gets another carry after that fumble on the last drive, coming in, getting 4 yards. Yeah, looking back at that Bandy run, the junior 5'10", 175. That's another explosive, just another weapon that this Indians offense has.
Duggar's letting this one roll down. Getting the game clock under 25 seconds.
Very likely, probably the last play.
Should just take a knee. Penn Hills loses the ball. Picked up. Gregory Vinay comes to the near side. We'll just call it no gain for Nagay. To Vinay. And the clock will wind out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The final score, Penn Hills 35, Moon nothing.
fans, we invite you to stick around as the Moon area marching band will be performing their halftime show.
And this was all Penn Hills.
Yeah, not a whole lot more to say than that. I'm sure we could go through the scoring summary, but yeah, this one was really all Penn Hills. Established early, came out to an early lead, a couple big plays, and I think one thing that, hopefully gets mentioned here is a really great effort from Penn Hills defense. Again, a Moon offense that's been struggling all season, but a home game, homecoming, certainly gearing up towards conference play, something to look forward to if you're Moon, and just really unable to establish anything. Give the Penn Hills defense a ton of credit. I think we talked maybe just 89 total yards of offense in that first half. I can't imagine there were many yards added to that here in the second half performance. So a really dominant performance on all three sides of the ball for Penn Hills, and they'll walk away tonight with a big 35-0 victory.
Interesting second half. Penn Hills was up 28-0 coming in. Obviously a lot less possessions in this half because we did get the running clock in the fourth quarter. But it wasn't until late in the third, 35 seconds ago, that Penn Hills actually got the touchdown to get the clock running. It was a 50-yard drive. Amir Key, the 6-yard run. So not a lot of action really in the in the second half. Penn Hills punted once, turned the ball over on downs, turned it over by a fumble, ran out the clock, and had a touchdown. Moon, they turned it over on downs a couple of times, and it was the opportunities, but they just couldn't find a way to make the big play happen.
Yeah, and again, I think Penn Hills certainly coming into that second half, being up 4 touchdowns. You could sense throughout most of this game, there weren't a lot of things for Moon to really hang their hat on, and so I think for Penn Hills, the second half's an opportunity to maybe clean some things up, work on some things, keep everybody healthy, which seemingly they were able to do, and as you mentioned, a big game next weekend against North Hills, and so I think it's important that you walk out here with a victory, you walk out here with your head high, your defense played well, your offense did enough good things, and now you're 3-1, and conference play looms.
And the victorious Indians posing for a picture at the 35-yard line. Hopefully somebody posts it so I can steal it. And
There
use
you
it
go. Well, then
use it for the Indians' Twitter.
And a little revenge from last year too. I'm sure that semifinal game still stings a little hollow. So I'm sure it's nice to come in here.
It does, but I think a lot of these players realize that it's not the same team.
Sure. Oh, no question. But, from a strictly competitive nature, it's always nice to come back and get one back, Not quite the same, but always good.
Tigers 0-4. Doesn't get any easier for them as they travel up north to take on the Planets and Mars next Friday night. The Indians, a big game at Uhas McGinley Stadium. They will host the North Hills Indians, a game last year which came down to a Penn Hills touchdown pass with 2 seconds to go, which proved to be the game winner. And again, a game which could ultimately decide the Northeast Conference Championship as Penn Hills knocked off Pine Richland last week. And again, interesting to see. We haven't seen any posting on the North Hills Woodland Hills score. So, depending on what the standings are after that, Penn Hills closes out with Woodland Hills, and the Indians over there in front of the band doing their traditional singing of the alma mater.
Here, I got one for you. 2 minutes ago, fourth quarter, Woodland Hills 14, North Hills 0.
Wow. So we're just going to assume the Wolverines
seems like the Wolverines are going to
knock off the Indians on that one.
It sure seems that way.
So if Penn Hills is able to walk off North Hills next week, it's going to come down to the Woodland Hills game at the end of the year, it seems, a Great American Rivalry Series game, which the Indians and the Wolverines traditionally closing out the season together. Once again, the final score here from Moon Tiger Stadium. The Penn Hills Indians prevail by a score of 35-0 over the Tigers. Beautiful night of football. It's my broadcast partner, Greg Smith. Great working with you.
Yeah, you too, Bill. Have to do it again soon sometimes.
Yeah, it was some Friday night.
I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Excellent. I enjoyed it. Once again, thanks for watching on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and here on the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. I'm Bill Navari. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, the final score, Penn Hills 35, Moon nothing. You're watching the Penn Hills Indians Football Network. Good night.